Good morning and welcome to my channel. My name is Natasha. I'm new to YouTube and my channel is all about posting daily videos with whatever comes to my mind and a topic for each day. And today it is who is laying heavy on my heart. I only talk about things that I'm passionate about, that I'm going through, and I'm not a professional in any space. I have a lot of experience with things that I feel like I want to share with you. So dating, who should make the first move, male or female? And what's brought this up for me today is, firstly, I was in a bar last night and there was this very attractive guitarist, and I'd followed him on Instagram a few years ago because I saw him in a pub previously and we spoke and I got his Instagram and I realized that it was him, and we kept catching eye contact and it just seemed quite sexual, you know, when there's quite an energy there, and I was really feeling that. And then at the end, you know, I felt a bit shy around him as well, because at the end when the lights come on and everyone left, I was kind of hanging back to see if he would approach me, and he didn't. And then when I left, finally alone, he was stood there with his guitar and he kind of turned his face away from me as if he was kind of like shy or avoiding me. And it's hard for me to know whether that is rejection and a man saying, no, I'm not interested, don't approach me, or is it because they're shy and they're a little bit intimidated, or are they waiting for me to approach them? I mean, I am autistic, so that adds another layer of not understanding social situations, but I do feel like from my experience, sometimes I have had to pursue the man and then it has ended up becoming something. Actually, most of the times when I've done that, it has become something. Like, for example, I used to work in a VIP nightclub in Chelsea, and one of the security guards, he was a few years younger than me, and he was gorgeous. He was French, Moroccan, and I was just so attracted to him. So I walked up and I got his number and we ended up seeing each other, and it didn't work out because he was Muslim, I was Christian, and it just didn't work. But I approached him and we ended up seeing each other. It happened, I think I've pursued most of my relationships, maybe. I've never really had a man chasing me, which I guess I have, but not. I've actually found it off-putting sometimes when they're too full on and they're really forward. So the space I'm in is, what, in this day and age, what are the expectations? I'm trying to explore that. I was speaking to a friend last night as well, and she was saying that she always pursues the man, and sometimes they'll tell her, oh, sorry, I'm in a relationship, or I'm not interested, and she really respects that feedback. I don't know if I'm strong enough for that, if I'm being completely honest. I struggle with rejection, which is, I need to keep building my self-worth. But yeah, please drop in the comments if you think that's a good idea for the women these days to approach the man. Another thing I saw on the news this morning about Andrew Tate being arrested for some sexual assault or rape. I haven't watched much Andrew Tate. I only can go off what I've heard from female friends and what I've seen in male friends, their changes in behaviour since listening to Andrew Tate. Definitely interesting one. What came to mind this morning, they played a clip on This Morning where Andrew Tate was saying that when the man is in a relationship with the woman, he owns that woman. So if a woman was working on OnlyFans, interesting job to mention, if a woman was working on OnlyFans, she should give her man half of that money. I guess if we're in an equal world and we're doing an equal split, then why would one own one or the other? That doesn't make sense for me. If you're going to split everything, surely you are equals and nobody's owning anyone. You're just both equal. The, what do they call it? The alpha and the omega, or the yin and the yang. I like that thought. I like that thought of complementing each other and not being rigid in the approach of, okay, the man has to do this, this, and this, and the woman does this, this, and this. Because traditional roles, I think, can be changed around in this modern day, where it's okay if a man wants to stay home and look after the baby and the woman wants to go out to work. Maybe it's not natural, but maybe we're evolving into that, into something. I don't know, it's quite overwhelming. I've been single for 3 years, and half of that was spent tragically dating, attracting men that weren't right for me, weren't interested in me. I was pursuing them, or I was going for older men, or I was going for men for their money. Yeah, God forgive me. But, you know, I really am confused in this day and age. I am a Christian, and I was brought up with a traditional family, and I would like a traditional role where, you know, the man provides and goes out to work, and I do household things and mainly stay at home, but then also have a few creative things going on and look after the babies if I have them. You know, if God gives me those things, if God gives me a husband. But I also want to be open-minded and not rigid in my thinking to, it has to be like this, and the man has to be this way, and I have to be this way. I'm very, very open-minded, and I'm very interested in, what people's thoughts are in this day and age, because I noticed that there's a lot of single people and a lot of divorces happening, a lot of breakups, a lot of people choosing to not have children, choosing to not get married. One of the reasons is the fear of how the world is at the moment, and whether they want to bring children into that. But my view is that children are souls. We're more than this world. So if you bring a soul into this world, it is so that soul can evolve and grow. So we shouldn't worry too much about any challenges that may arise, in my opinion. And then there's the financial insecurities, but again, I trust that God will provide. If God gifts you with a child and a relationship, I'm sure he's going to financially support that. So yeah, I don't know what other concerns are. Maybe it's this, that do you approach? I think right in this moment that if we're attracted to somebody, we should just tell them. But no, that makes me cringe even saying it, because imagine it's in a work situation and then you get rejected. Would it then be awkward, or is that just me with low self-esteem? Should I approach them, and then if I have to see them every day, then fine, you know, I told you I was attracted to you, I asked you out, you rejected me. Oh well, get over it, move on to the next one. Also, if it's someone you've been friends with for a long time and you're attracted to them, or you're getting to a point in life where you think, that person might be good to raise a family with, and we get along together, we know each other, we have history, and then you approach them and then they reject you, would that ruin the friendship? It's all very complicated in my mind. So yeah, I just think that, imagine how it was in the 60s. Woman or a man would go up to a woman when she was in her teenage years. Hi, I like you, let's go dancing, do some rock and roll. They dance, they court, they go dancing, and then he proposes, and then they get married and have children, and they stay together forever. Simple. That doesn't seem to happen anymore, and it's really sad. I wonder if it will happen again. I wonder if we can bring it back. I mean, I'm already almost 30, so it's a bit late for me to be a teenage trad wife, but I hope it becomes a trend for the new generation. Really do. As my generation aren't don't seem to be getting married or having children, and I feel like there's going to be a lack of babies. So I hope the next generation do. We have like a baby bloomers again, or a flower power where there's world peace and no war. That would be amazing. And then everyone just gets all lovey-dovey and everyone has babies and lives happily ever after. Please, Lord. I pray for that. Flower power, please. And another topic I wanted to talk about was paying for dates. Now, I know this is a touchy subject. Trolls come at me, but please be kind. I've been through a lot. Come on, I'm just a genuine person talking about my feelings. I'm not saying I'm right or wrong in anything, and I fully hold my hands up and say that in my past experience, I've made bad decisions, and today I try and make the best decisions for everyone involved. Promise that. So paying for dates. Okay, I've just got to be real. If I'm on a date with a man and he pays for everything, that gives me a signal that he's interested in me and he wants to see me again. If he doesn't pay, then I take that as a rejection and he doesn't want to see me again. I'm so open to 50-50. I don't expect a man to provide for me at all. But this first initial date, as showing me that he's interested, I think that the man should cover it. And you can also go into things like women would, not really me, but people I know especially, would buy a whole new outfit, go to the hairdressers, get their hair done, maybe extensions, maybe eyelashes, eyebrows, get an Uber there because they don't want to be all stressed out and frustrated and sitting on the dirty tube or transport before their date. And they might have cancelled plans with family or friends or even potential work to make money to spend this evening with you. And women do have a ticking biological clock as well. So I feel like men can have a family at any time, and I feel like having that time of a woman in her prime is so valuable, and it should be treated with such respect, I think, from the man. And women generally get more emotionally involved in things. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's just what society has made us believe. So I don't know. That's my thoughts on who should make the first move. So I'm gonna say I think that everybody should make the first move and become more resilient, but the man should pursue the date and show his interest on the first date and potentially even arrange the second date. And then they should ease into finding their balance on what works for them. And I don't think there should be any set rules. So I would love to hear your thoughts on this, your experience, and what do you think? Who should pursue who? And should it be a split of payment on the first date, or do you think the man should pay? Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you have a lovely day. I appreciate you.